Your exams are coming and it's getting difficult for you to learn culture and civilization for class 9th and class 10. So that is why I've created this playlist that's going to help you learn culture and civilization. Once you know all the meanings of the words, it becomes very easy for you to learn the answers. And if you see the answers, they're just one-liners, two-liners. And the best advice that I would like to share with you is keep writing the answers for culture and civilization. It's going to make things very easy for you. So let's quickly jump into today's video where I will be doing Les saisons, lesson 4 for class 9th. So let's start. Quand la Basilique de Fourvière est-elle construite? So it's a monument. When was it constructed? La Basilique de Fourvière est construite entre 1872 et 1896. Okay. Que savez-vous de Basilique de Fourvière? What do you know about this monument? So, Basilique de Fourvière est austère à l'extérieur et très richement décorée à l'intérieur. So, it's very richly decorated from outside and nicely constructed from inside. And it's constructed between 1872 and 1896. The tourists The tourists come there for discovering its mosaic, its mosque, its windows, and marbles. It's a famous monument which is often visited by many of the tourists, which is also famous for its architecture. Okay. Next question. Qu'est-ce que le Théâtre de Guignol? C'est une marionnette sans fil. So it's a puppet show without thread. Fil is thread. Qui est animé par les doigts de l'opérateur, which is operated by the fingers of the operator. Okay, you might have seen puppet shows. So it's basically operated by the fingers, okay, of the operator. And if we talk about what does it represent, that's coming up with our next question. So what represents this theater? La marionnette represents l'ouvrière, the workers qui travaillent dans les industries de soie à Lyon. So it basically represents the workers who work in the industries of silk industry. In which city? Lyon. Très bien. Okay. Question 5. Quel temps fait-il en été dans votre ville? So we all know it. En été, il fait chaud. Whenever you're going to make a sentence with for weather, it's always the verb faire. Il fait chaud. Il fait du soleil. It's sunny. Dans ma ville, il y a des fleurs de toutes les couleurs. So there are flowers of all the colors. De quelle couleur est le ciel en automne? So what color is the sky in autumn? On autumn, the sky is gray. Next question. Quand la terre est-elle blanche? La terre est blanche en hiver parce qu'il neige. So when is it white? The ground is white. In which season? In winter because it snows. What's the reason? Because it snows. If you're still sitting here and watching this video as a passive listener, I would request you to go and get a notebook and keep writing these sentences, these answers with me so that you get more clarity on that. And if it's really not possible for you to get the notebook, what you can do is you can bring your Together with French book and keep writing the meanings there as and then when I'm discussing the answers in this video. So let's continue with question 8. Quelle saison préférez-vous et pourquoi? So when they ask you vous, you can even change the question. So if you're writing some other season, please feel free to mention it down in the comments below so that I can write the structures that you have framed, okay? So je préfère le printemps, I prefer spring parce qu'il fait beau et frais. It's beautiful and fresh. Le ciel est bleu, the sky is blue, et les feuilles sont vertes, and the leaves are green. Question 9. Pourquoi les arbres n'ont pas de feuilles? Why the trees doesn't have leaves? So les arbres n'ont pas de feuilles, the trees doesn't have leaves parce que c'est l'automne, because it's which season? It's autumn. And in autumn, les feuilles tombent. And in autumn, the leaves fall. Question 10. Portez-vous le parapluie en automne? Do you carry umbrella in autumn? Yes, of course. Je porte le parapluie, I carry umbrella in autumn parce qu'il pleut souvent, because it often rains. Okay. Question 11. Qui est Naomi Campbell? So if you've never heard about this person, who is Naomi Campbell? Elle est mannequin célèbre. Famous model. Okay. Question 12. Quels sont les différents types de climat? So if we talk about the different types of climate, clima tropical, tropical climate, clima desertic, the type of climate that's around deserts, clima maritime, the climate that's there around sea, clima Mediterranean, Mediterranean Sea, clima continental, the continental climate, clima polaire, which is like very cold. So the different type the clima. So they just expect you to learn the names of climates in French. Okay. Also through Le Temple Zeti, where do you find, uh, ancient temples? We find it in, it's located in Mexique. That's Mexico. Okay. La dernière question, où faut-il aller pour visiter Auroville? It's a place to visit. But where you have to go for seeing this place, il faut aller à Pondicherry pour visiter Auroville. Okay, so these are the 14 questions of this lesson. Very easy. Keep writing it down. When you write, you're able to memorize much better than when you are just studying it in oral. And I have always been repeating in my videos, culture and civilization is something that you should always learn and keep it aside. And then the rest of the time, you can practice your creative writings and your grammar. This is something you should give top priority to culture because it's very scoring. Okay. So if you need videos on any of the topic, please feel free to mention it down in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to help. Au revoir.